worship boy and girl's anxiety that am I really here? Do I really fit? Because my social origins, not the traditional origins, but you can put people into that position. And then there's a penumbra around those core establishments, as I think Danny and I agree, you see that.
So a lot of streets in Japan are
the celebrities
like this.
The celebrities make we know perhaps not terrific. I mean, then they'll end up not being even household names in their own household, but they're like meteors for a while, you see, and the press gets tremendously obsessed by them. The press isn't obsessed by those that come up the meritocratic route and get big in the big professions, as it were. It's much more the transient establishment, but the press is also interested in a perversion of establishment which they regard as toffdom.
Yeah, there are big differences within the establishment. At the extremes, university vice-chancellors are most likely to come from grammar schools and so on. Those least likely are High Court judges still. And, you know, so meritocracy has worked at best at that part of the establishment that leads you to actually be able to do things. To do exams, and not so well in that part of requires you just to sit on judgment of others.
Yeah, I wanted to come to you on this because, I mean, your work has documented in great detail a decrease in economic inequality which occurred between 1930 and 1980, I think. I mean, can we say that this, you know, this commitment to meritocratic advancement was responsible?
Okay, we're turning right now. There's a gas station.
It really began around about 1913, and then accelerated in the 20s and 30s before the Second War helped greatly. But that increase in economic equality predated the 1944 Act. It was almost as if what you needed to happen first was for the rich to become less rich and people to become more similar to each other, and then it became possible to have an education act that says all our children will be educated at secondary level for free. And in a way, that act also helped the middle class as well, and then we became more and more economically we could get comprehensive schools, because you could begin to think of other people like you and their children like your children, and then the idea of all going to the same schools.
There we go.
When you are much more similar in terms of where you can live, what you can buy, the kind of holidays you can have.
There we go.
All ended in 1980, since then we're becoming more unequal.
Would you want to talk about the establishment reassertion?
Ohio gozaimasu.
Let's come to your point that you were talking about Michael Young.
But before we do, interesting, the establishment in this country, certainly in that era, was about status rather than flaunting wealth. It's not like the United States where wealth is the talisman, it was status. I forget who it was, I think Sam Britton said that an impoverished Anglican vicar has got much more status than the nouveau riche who's moved into the rather nice old manor house down the road. You see, that's the old class thing. So it moderated.
There we are.
And indeed, those who are most ambitious